Hey everyone, welcome to Motivational Chat. I am your host and empowerment specialist, Jaime Kalman. So good to be back with you after a brief maternity leave there. I am thrilled to share with you all of the great tips and tools and techniques that can help you to live your most positive, purposeful, and prosperous life right here, right now, whether that's in your personal life or your professional life. And to help you do that, I've brought with me a special guest expert because, as you know, here on Motivational Chat, we like to be your resource, your resource for learning about the different opportunities within motivation, inspiration. We put you up close and personal with experts in the fields of entrepreneurship and financial growth, self-help, all kinds of wonderful things to help you to elevate and enrich your own life. And we like to give you a couple of practical tools that you can implement right away. So I am going to introduce you to our guest expert today, but before I do, I just want you to ask yourself the following questions, because these questions are thoughtful questions that she would actually ask you to ponder and think about if you were sitting here with her today instead of moi. So these questions are, so just take a moment and just turn inward for a minute and just ask yourself, do you want to play big in your business? But no matter what, you just keep stopping yourself or something just seems to hold you back. And I also want you to ask yourself, do you find it difficult to find that balance between life and work, right? How many of us relate to that? New mom, I certainly relate to that. And the third question that we want you to just think about while we're going through the show here is, if you could have your ideal career and your ideal lifestyle, what would that look like? So instead of just striving and surviving, what would it be like to thrive? Because that's what my guest expert does. She helps people answer these questions. In fact, she's not only an award-winning entrepreneur and motivational speaker, but she's also a best-selling author. Her book, Millionaire Moms in the Making, was an Amazon #1 best-selling book. She's also a radio host, and most of you probably know her as the CEO and publisher of 2 successful niche publications. One is called What's Up for Kids, and the other is one of my personal favorites, Today's Innovative Woman, which serves smart, savvy business owners. That's why I probably like it, because when I'm reading it, I feel like a smart, savvy businesswoman. It's wonderful. So she's won numerous awards in entrepreneurship. We'll get to that later, but she's here to share with us today her 5 keys to success. We're going to take a deep dive into just a couple of them, but she's going to share with us her tips of how to go from entrepreneur to CEO in your business. So please help me welcome the extraordinary Cathy Alessandra.
Yay! Thank you very much.
Welcome.
I'm excited to be here.
Well, it's so great to see you.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed the first time that I saw you. I saw Cathy. It was at a networking event, and she was the speaker sponsor of the event. It was at the Women's
Referral Services,
That's
WRS.
right.
Yes.
Well, referral services, and it was the women's chapter, and you were great. I was so impressed because it's really hard to do. It was like a 10-minute talk, and
I talk fast, but even that 10 minutes was hard to get it all in.
you nailed it. You did it. You did this whole thing on marketing in 10 minutes because you're used to really delivering. Because you do a lot of live events that are much longer and in-depth.
We do a lot of live events. Most of the time when I speak, it's 45 minutes to an hour, or we do actually a 2-day workshop. We have our Success Summit, which is a 2-day event. So I am used to, I like to talk and share. So 10 minutes was...
It's hard, right, to condense if
Yes.
you're this wealth of information. Because just so you know, Cathy talks on various different topics. She talks on marketing and publishing, work-life balance.
Right. I have a couple of talks I do. One is on the work-life balance. We also talk about networking, using speaking to grow your business, getting networking out there. And then, of course, I also do a talk too on, since I have hosted so many live events, how to actually host your own live event and make it profitable. And so, which is
so important. I think, especially we have a lot of coaches that watch the show, people in the personal growth field, and that's an extremely important element to building their business, isn't it?
It is. Having that live workshop or that live event where you're actually getting to speak to somebody, one-on-one, where you're able to show your area of expertise as you're standing on the stage and teaching them what they need to know. As a coach or it really helps just raise your credibility, right? Not only your visibility, but your credibility in what it is that you're able to teach. So live events are a very key piece of a successful business, I feel.
Wow, but there's a whole world that goes into putting a live event on.
Yes,
so you're actually able to help people with that?
Yes. Well, our 2-day training actually was set up so that we actually took them from A to Z, you know, everything they needed to know from, you know, finding their venue and figuring out how to, you know, get the seats filled and get people there, all the way to the actual experience in the day. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah,
because
I love teaching it.
Yeah, because you know, when I first started doing my work professionally, that was what I was encouraged to do by people, was get out and give talks or do workshops and events. And I mean, I just went into it blindly, you know, at first, you know, and then of course got some coaching and some assistance. But there's so much to it that, you know, when you go as an attendee, you're not aware of the nuts and bolts that go into that. So that's fabulous that you actually walk people through that. So Cathy, I love today's Innovative Woman.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
I love the guest experts that you have writing for it. I love the topics. Would you mind sharing with our viewers a little bit about today's Innovative Woman and what it is and really how it came to be?
You bet. Can I take a little step back into What's Up for Kids, because that kind of leads up into today's Innovative Woman. Okay.
Definitely.
I actually started publishing a magazine over 18 years ago, and it was called What's Up for Kids. And I had 2 little girls and a third one that hadn't even been born, as we were talking about a little bit earlier.
Exactly.
And I was looking to share that information about things that parents could go do with their kids. And it was actually in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, here in California. And about 15 years into that, as that's the site. That's What's Up for Kids. Yes, it is.
Fantastic.
We have a big Kids Expo coming up here in March in Torrance, California.
Excellent.
It's so much fun.
March 2014, everybody.
Yes, March 15th, 2014. Anyway, I started that, and as I said, my kids were young, and as they started growing up and my older daughters hit college, well, they were applying for college, I realized that it wouldn't be long before I kind of had that empty nest and I needed to find some different things to do. And while that magazine serves moms who have kids ages 2 to 14, I was kind of getting out of that market. And I still publish the magazine. I've worked with advertisers for years, but I was ready for something new. And went through a little bit of a journey.
This is your Twitter?
That's Twitter for What's Up for Kids. Yes, it is.
So all of you guys out there with kids, check this
That's
out,
right.
especially if you're in the LA area.
Yes, if you're in LA, in South Bay area of LA in particular, lots of great stuff.
Fantastic. So then you were growing into this other area of your life.
I was.
And thought, what else can I
do? What do I tackle next? So I picked up the book, The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, and started going through that chapter by chapter, kind of figuring out what my next purpose or passion is, what I wanted to do.
Sure.
And quickly realized that I wanted to serve women entrepreneurs, but I thought it was mompreneurs. And started with an association, really serving mompreneurs with teleclasses and live events. That's actually how our Success Summit began. And a couple years into it, my coach looked at me and said, I was struggling with it. She said, Cathy, why are you not doing a magazine, geared towards this same people? Yeah, there's Jack's book.
Yeah.
It is a fabulous book. I highly recommend it.
It's so good. My co-host, who you guys have seen on the show a lot, John Michael Ferrari, he and I used to use that book all the time in the show. We would actually take chapters of it and kind of wrap it out. So such a good one.
It's a great book. The worksheets and everything. And I've seen him speak, and it's just, it
really
really helped me step into what was next.
There's John Michael Ferrari, everybody. Look at him. So I'm so sorry. So you were going back to looking at, what
was
you wanted.
Next.
Exactly.
What was next for me.
Exactly.
And so anyway, the association didn't quite take off. My coach suggested the magazine.
Right.
And within literally 3 months, the association had been shut down. All the members had been rolled into a subscription, and the first issue of the magazine was out. I do not let grass grow under my feet.
No.
I am an implementer. And I'm proud to say that, but
would you say that that's actually part of maybe one of your personal secrets to success, is actually just getting it done, implementing?
Absolutely. I think the fear of the risk, the fear of the failure, even the fear of success is what really stops people. And therefore, they let those small obstacles, that's actually one of my 5 keys is, that little boulder may come, or we've got that stop sign, or the something that gets in our way.
Right.
And we need to find a way to get around it, hop over it, move through it. Even though it's scary, get that support and that help. I mean, I had people around me. I had a coach. I had a mastermind. As I was going through, when I first changed to the magazine, it was Today's Entrepreneur Woman. That did not sit well with Entrepreneur Magazine. So we had to change the name. And so there was a whole process. And you start asking, am I doing the right thing? Am I not doing the right thing? But having that support and moving forward.
That's amazing. And so that's really inspiring, actually, that you started it even with a different title and then ran into some hiccups there, but didn't let that just stop it. You then had to so how long do you think this process took to get from the conception to, rolling it out as a magazine? Because you also have it online as well as a hard copy.
Yes. It is a print magazine and a digital edition, and then of course our website, Today's Innovative Woman, also.
Yeah, the website's great, Today's Innovative Woman. There's so many different topics actually there that you can explore. So everything, here you go, guys. There it is, Today's Innovative Woman.
Yep, that's our site.
And if you see on the top, it has business and marketing, success and mindset, work-life balance, fashion and beauty. So all different types of things. Now, the people who write for the magazine, can you share with us how that breaks down?
Absolutely. We have writers who write for our print edition. There's 8 writers who write regularly for our print edition. The print magazine does come out every other month, and it's mailed. It's a free gifted subscription. It is mailed directly to your home or office, whatever you subscribe with. And we've got topics, branding and websites. We've got social media strategists. We have people who talk about inspiration and coaching. So it's really a little bit of everything. We also have online writers that are different than our print writers, because I really feel, people are going to consume the information differently. So we have different content on our website than we do in our print magazine. So you'll find different articles. And there we've got, all kinds of things that people are writing about, from speaking to grow your business, and then the health and wellness aspect. We've had a lot of that here in January of 2014.
I bet.
With me and my journey and the Yes I Can movement, we had a lot of focus on that.
Yes.
It's a lot of fun.
And speaking of that, the Yes I Can movement, because this is really exciting. This is something that you're launching. Speaking of her being a fast implementer, can you tell us about that? Because it is linked to Today's Innovative Woman.
It is in a movement, and actually it's a nonprofit that I started through Today's Innovative Woman. I was kind of feeling that another little journey came on last November, trying to figure out, where I was and what I wanted to be doing. And I had been working a lot and hadn't really taken the time for me and the self-care. And ladies, how
I can see how you've been working a lot. I mean, the 2 publications.
2 magazines, deadlines, it can be crazy.
You do the Success Summit, which you just had in the fall,
Yes,
right?
which was in October, and will be in October in 2014 again here in Los Angeles.
Oh, my goodness.
And so I took some time to
amazing.
Reflect.
And
thank you. Remember, 2 are in college now, so I've just got the 1 at home.
Yeah, but they never really.
Well, this is true.
Right?
I still get the teary phone calls, or I got one of those last week.
Aww,
but but the Yes I Can was a great. It was something that came to me. Actually, I made the decision to work on myself and go to the gym, and I set a goal of losing 50 pounds, 28 of which I've lost as of today.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Go, Cathy.
And so that's how the Yes I Can, because Yes I Can, whatever your Yes I Can is, whether it's losing weight, whether it's finding love, whether it's growing your business to 6 figures, whether it's starting a business, that attitude of Yes I Can is what's going to come out. And I was on the treadmill, and somebody came in with a different T-shirt, and all of a sudden, the whole thing just came to me on that 30 minutes. And
I remember reading you wrote a post about that, actually.
I did, yeah.
Pepper J, we have a question or a comment.
Yes, you have a couple of questions. North Dakota says, you mentioned roadblocks. How does one best get past them? And then Florida says, what's the first step?
Okay, well, actually, great to have both of you here watching this show with these questions, because through the duration of the show, we're going to address exactly what you are asking about, so hang out with us. But that is a really great segue about roadblocks. You mentioned one of the roadblocks was, not really knowing what to do, who your target market was, and
Right.
then the second one, of course, having to change the name of the publication.
Right.
Were there any other roadblocks that you personally encountered with today's innovative woman?
Well, I think in my business in general, and Alessandra Media Group, which encompasses both magazines.
Yeah,
you know.
I'm actually glad that you just corrected me on that, because it's really the whole, your business isn't just today's innovative woman,
Right,
it's
right.
Alessandra Media Group.
Right.
Okay.
And it houses the two magazines. And you can only imagine, in 18 years of publishing a magazine and running a company, of course there's many roadblocks and challenges that I've faced over the years. With What's Up for Kids, I do regular expos. Right now we're only doing one this year, but we've done up to 7 in 1 year. And
That's a lot.
It
Expos
is.
are a ton of work.
They are a lot, and they're a huge
And they're
financial
expensive.
risk. Huge financial risk. And I can say, there are times when I've succeeded tremendously, and there's been times when I've failed miserably and lost my shirt with it.
Yeah.
Our first Success Summit, not really knowing exactly, my idea of what I wanted and then what it was actually turning into made it tough, and I ended up losing a ton of money on it. But but you got to keep moving.
Right. Absolutely. You hear that? You got to keep moving, and even if sometimes you run out of gas, you got to fill her back up and get back on it. We are going to be right back with Cathy Alessandra, CEO of the Alessandra Media Group, and we're going to be talking about how to go from entrepreneur to CEO, the 5 keys to success. So stay tuned. We will be right back. You're watching Motivational Chat.
The great thing about NNow Media is the one-stop shop. We are soup to nuts. We have writers, directors, producers, animators, motion graphics artists, editors, videographers, musicians, all under one roof. And we are a boutique creative house where we actually do the creative at much more affordable price and have the staff in-house to execute it professionally. My name is John Palacio.
My name is Luz Montez.
My name is Paul Robinson.
I am Jesse Cervantes.
I'm Curtis Peel.
My name is Ben Joran.
One of the most common questions we have from potential clients is, how does it work? What happens when you engage NNow Media to create a video, a marketing campaign?
It first starts with, obviously having the phone conversation with the client.
Brainstorm with them to come up with a really good concept and a really good idea to push whatever they're trying to do to the next level.
Only with that in mind can we really try to tailor a concept and a script for their exact audience that fits in with their branding and the message they want to tell.
We'll storyboard it out, get a real rough idea of what we want to do.
We'll then present the client with a couple of options, different ways that we could go with some of the things that we've come up with.
And they'll say this is good, and then we'll come back, we'll start animating that or designing it or editing it.
Our clients are generally, like to be really hands-on, and we'd like to hear from you kind of all along the board. There's no surprises.
What we like to do with every partner is we actually create a page on the NNow website.
So they can give feedback, and that way when the time we get to the final product, usually there's not a whole lot more revisions to do because we've already been working together the whole time.
The big difference is that real personal creative touch.
We have a creative group that can execute that vision, whether it's animation, video, motion graphics, and do so with some unique creative that is custom tailored to that business.
Dream it up. It's video. It's magic. It can happen.
Hello, everyone. We are back. You are watching Motivational Chat. I'm your host and empowerment specialist, Jaime Kalman, here with my special guest, Cathy Alessandra, CEO of Alessandra Media Group. And what I'd love for you guys to do is open up another window there. Don't close us out. Open up another window. Go to actorsreporter.com. Click on Actors Discounts, and that's going to take you to a list of our various sponsors, and you can just peruse through there and see what floats your boat. There's some fantastic products and services on that page, and it's definitely worth a look. So actorsreporter.com. And we are back. We are talking about entrepreneur to CEO, right? And the 5 keys to success. So we're going to take a deep dive into a couple of them with Cathy. This is a talk that Cathy gives, and would you call it a talk or a workshop or a
It's
seminar?
more, yeah, talk presentation, right.
Presentation.
Right.
Yeah, so she actually gets paid the big bucks to deliver this, but you guys are oh so lucky watching Motivational Chat that you can catch some of this here as a special gift to you. So thank you first and foremost for sharing some of this
Absolutely,
with our viewers. It's
absolutely.
really great. So we're going to take a deep dive into a couple of the points, but of course there's much, much more. We can't go into all of it today. We just don't have the time, but we are going to cover a few things. So in leading into that, let me ask you, entrepreneur to CEO, 5 keys to success. What is this about? What gave you the inspiration to come up with this particular presentation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was really the fact that so many of us as an entrepreneur, we don't have that CEO mindset. You know, we think of
Right.
ourselves as a solopreneur. We're working by ourselves. We're an entrepreneur. We're in the crux of it. And when you take a step back and think of yourself as a CEO of your company, even if you're just you, there's a whole there's a whole mind shift that happens with that, right? I mean, you are the visionary of your company, you are the innovator of your company, you are the CEO, and you're the one who needs to look and see what needs to happen, what's next. And by having that title, for lack of a better word, of CEO, or whether it's that or Chief Innovative Officer or Chief Creative Officer, you need to have that kind of attitude and mindset to be able to move your company forward.
Okay,
highly
I love it.
successful.
I love it. And that being said, before we get into this, what does success look like and feel like to you, Cathy? Because wouldn't you say a person's personal definition of success has a lot to do with their ability to create it
Yes.
in their lives, knowing what that is?
Yes, I would absolutely agree with that. Interestingly enough, though, my definition of not success is the number in my bank account.
Got it.
Yes, I like to make money. Yes, I do make money. My company is a 6-figure business. But if I was not passionate about what I was doing, if I didn't love what I do, if I wasn't inspired every morning when I woke up,
Right.
I mean, I can hardly wait to get to my desk and get to work. Truly,
That's fantastic.
honestly.
Yes.
And if you really don't have that, so success to me is really being able to serve others, being able to support others. And, it's interesting. I had an experience at Success Summit this past year where just before we started, and normally I try to give myself a little bit of space, just a couple minutes before we start, just to take that breath. And someone caught me right by the stage, and she was half in tears and said, I was here 2 years ago, and this event changed my life. It changed the course of my business. It changed my life. And that is what I consider success. I mean, that just touched my heart, and being able to support somebody like that, that's how I measure success.
Brilliant. I love it. So with that in mind, everybody, while we talk to you about, she's going to go over some of the 5 keys to success that she's created through her own journey, and maybe just be thinking about that for yourselves. What does success look and feel like to you? Because it is personal and it's different for everyone. Right. So I think aligning with your own authentic vision of success is very important, so that you're not just trying to maybe mimic or model success that you've seen on somebody else, because that may not be what you really want. And I think what was so key, what you said about it's got to drive you, it's got to inspire you, it's got to move you, because it is hard. I mean, in the last segment, you were talking about, completely coming out of pocket on things, losing your shirt on some stuff.
Yeah, right. And I think your definition of success may change too as you grow and as you get older, and as things, my definition of success 10 years ago, is probably very different. I mean, I probably was a little more monetarily motivated. How many expos we could do, would help determine whether my level of success. And then you reach a point, and now, I mean, especially even with starting the nonprofit, to me, to be able to give back and to be able to share, and that's become a big piece of my
that's got to feel really good to get the Yes I Can nonprofit out there.
It does.
To be able to now be, offering and giving back, not just doing the business to get, but being able to
give,
to do
pay
that.
it forward and give back.
Yeah, and you heard Cathy mention that her business is now a 6-figure business, but it wasn't always, and there's no such thing as an overnight success, which you can read. Did you write an article?
Yes, I did. Overnight sensation.
I did my research,
You
girl.
did. That blog post just showed up yesterday. I'm impressed. There is no overnight success.
There is no. Yeah, I love
Don't
it.
let anybody tell you that.
I love
either.
her opening line. It's like, overnight success. Yeah, I don't think so. I did read it.
I
see
write
that?
kind of smart alecky.
I like it. I like it though, because I feel like it's you talking and I can
It
hear
is,
your
yeah.
laugh in it, and I like that. So, again, this is on Today's Innovative Woman is actually where you can find that particular
blog post.
Yes. So let's talk about these 5 keys to success,
You bet.
because I'm so fired up about this. So I'm going to just kind of hand the ball over to you.
Okay,
And
great.
let you take us through it how you feel best. So maybe like a little overview, and then we can take a deep dive into 2 of them.
Okay. Well, let's see. There's 5 that I feel are really critically important to the growth of your business. And number 1, which we sort of already touched on, is inspiration. And I think having that inspiration, having that passion, having whatever it is that drives you to make you want to get up in the morning, to get to your desk, to get to that networking, to travel across the country, to promote your business, to talk to people, to connect with people.
Yeah.
I think that is your absolute number 1 key to success.
Inspiration.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because if you're not inspired to keep moving forward and serve the people that you're serving, it's easy to just say, I'm going to let that go.
Because it's so hard. It takes so much to do it. If you're not
Right.
inspired, there's nothing to pull you through when things get tough.
Absolutely.
And I always
absolutely.
thought too, Cathy, if my business, when I went into business for myself, it had to be something that inspired me. Otherwise, I was
Yes.
just going to go work for someone else.
Right.
Because I can be an excellent employee, So it's like, and it's a whole lot easier, a lot of the time.
Right.
Than to work for yourself.
Well, and
So
there's ways,
inspiration.
there's so many things that we do. What you're doing right now, maybe you don't feel inspired, and maybe it's time to take a look at that, to decide whether you need to make a shift in what it is that you're doing. Maybe if you are a coach and you're burnt out working day after day on the group calls and serving all these people, maybe you need to look at more of a one-to-one model. I mean, it could take just a slight shift to get that inspiration and that fire back in your belly about what it is you're doing.
Yeah.
If you're looking for something new, then you need to, look, where is your passion? What is it you're most interested about? What is it that you want to do and serve so badly that you can do, anything to get there?
I know that you've done some work with Allie Brown.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, the entrepreneurial guru for women on
Yes,
Allie Brown.
yes, she is, Allie Brown.
And in fact, you were, hold on, I want to look it up because I have it here in my notes.
Yes, I was.
Where were you? Where is it? Allie Brown, 2011 finalist for Allie Brown Platinum Excellence Award.
Yes.
Well done.
Yes, that was very exciting.
But the reason I bring her up is because I remember listening to, I think she did that audio with David Nagel in 2008,
Yes.
7 success secrets for multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs.
Something like that, yes.
Yeah, it was like a
yes.
mouthful to say
Right,
that one.
right.
And I love what she says in that talk. She says, she can always tell. Here's Allie Brown and her Elevate program.
Yeah, she was actually on the cover of the
This is
magazine,
excellent.
too,
Yeah,
a couple
she
months
was on the
ago.
cover, and you had a fantastic interview with her in there. I love
it
that
was,
particular issue, which is archived on the online.
It is on our website. You can
Yes.
you can click and view all the past issues.
And you can-
It's a
and I
great story. She's
really
a new mommy too.
recommend. I know, of twins. So she can do it. My gosh, right?
Yeah,
She's got
right.
twins. What am I complaining about? So the reason I brought up Allie Brown, guys, was because she mentioned that in her business, she would always know when it was time to make a shift because she would start to get restless.
Right.
It would start to get like a little restless, maybe a little bored, and that was a sign it got to get re-inspired, which of course then means stepping into the unknown again and scaring the pants off yourself all over again, but that's part of it. So,
Well, what's that saying about you've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable?
yep.
To really be successful, I think, in life and everything that you're doing, you really need to, and it's not a comfortable feeling.
No, it's not.
It can be very scary, the fear of taking that step and not knowing if you're going to fall off that cliff or who's going to be there to catch you, right?
What was that, the quote? I think I saw it on one of your sites. Your life begins at the edge of your comfort zone or just past the edge of your comfort zone. Something like that's beautiful.
Something along those lines, yeah.
So I took you off course for a moment, and I know you're looking at key number 2, because I could talk about inspiration all day long. I mean, the name of my business is Inspired Healing and Awareness, so I can talk about inspiration all day long. So you got to be like, come on, Jamie.
Move on. Huh?
Yeah, what we got for key number 2, Mama?
Key number 2 is intention and setting an intention.
All right.
there's another quote that I love. It's life is not about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself.
Oh, yes.
And whatever it is, whatever that intention is that you want to set for yourself, we really need to figure out where we want to go, and we need to set our course, we need to set our compass, and make it happen, right? This is where I talked about, coming across the roadblocks.
Yes.
And no matter what your intention is, I mean, my intention was to have an association that didn't quite work out, and I ended up moving around that roadblock and shifting what I was doing. Whether your intention is to have a successful business, whether it's to, have children, whatever it is eventually in your life, right? We all set those dreams and goals, also intentions. So we need to have that positive flow of where it is that we want to go, what it is we want to do, and continue to follow through with that.
And that can, it's easier said than done, right? Because sometimes that can be the hardest part is what do you want?
Right.
That can be so hard because when you go into business for yourself or you have this creative passion, it's like the world's your oyster. You see all these opportunities and options, and it's hard to kind of whittle it down.
Right.
And that's why I love your story when you talked about creating the entrepreneurs, the Mom Entrepreneur Association. Right, but then actually having to let that go to go into a much more clear direction.
Absolutely. And I think, so much of the time we look at that, when I first was letting that go, I wasn't quite sure what to do, and it's like, oh my God, I failed.
I was going to ask you, did your mind do that to you?
Yeah,
I know
for a
mine
split
would
second,
do that.
right?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you're going to question. You're going to question yourself. You're going to go question whether you made the right decision. There's all that questioning.
You're like, well, that didn't work.
Right. But quite frankly, I wouldn't be where I am now if I hadn't gone through those 2 years and if I hadn't failed and hadn't experienced all that. All the people I met in that journey, that was actually during the time that I met Allie Brown, became aware of her and was introduced to her. And then Joy Chudikoff, who I actually coach one-on-one with now as my coach. And I still work with Allie as well. But I think that's, it's such a key piece. It's not failure. It's really the next stepping stone to where you're going to get in business or in life.
It's growth. It's that necessary stepping stone, like you said. I love that you referred to it as that. And everybody, we're going to go even deeper into this. That was key number 2, intention. So we've covered inspiration and intention. And we have a couple more to go. So if you want to know what you absolutely must have to have success, come join us in just a few moments. You're watching Motivational Chat. We'll be right back.
Do you feel like you're so close to a breakthrough in your acting career but keep hitting a wall? Are you ready to enjoy the next level of your career with confidence? Do you need help but can't afford private coaching? I'm Jaime Kalman, and I'm a certified healing practitioner and life coach. I work with actors here in Hollywood to overcome self-sabotage and fear and help them create powerful transformations in their lives and careers. Now I've created this series, Emotional Healing for Actors, to share with you the highly effective energy healing technique that I use with my private clients. There are 24 segments available for you to download as either video or audio files to assist you anytime you need to clear blocks to the industry, prosperity, and self-esteem. Plus, you get a free video tutorial to explain how you can use this phenomenal method on your own. So why wait? You've invested in your craft. Now invest in what will enable you to really shine, your personal power and confidence.
Hi everyone, we are back. You're watching Motivational Chat, and I just want to mention to you there's a promo code that we wanted to share with you. It is Actors Reporter, so that's a discount code, and it's useful for you for those sponsors that you saw earlier at actorsreporter.com. So, coming back with my guest, she is the Chief Innovative Officer of the Alessandra Media Group, and we've been talking about her road to success because her business, it encompasses a couple of different publications, What's Up for Kids and Today's Innovative Woman. She's also just launched a nonprofit called Yes I Can. It is a movement, and we're going to talk to you about how you can find more about that at the end of the show. But right now she's presenting for us the 5 keys to success, how to go from entrepreneur to CEO. And in the last segment we covered keys 1 and 2. That was inspiration and intention. And now we're going to dive into number 3. What do you got for us, Cathy? What's number 3?
Key number 3. Key number 3 is a really important one. And you probably should take some notes during this now that you've got a little baby.
I know. See, this is completely self-serving that I have her on here right now.
Like I said, I like to serve. Well, key number 3 is integration. And this is a really, other people refer to it as balance.
Okay.
And but a lot of people, balance isn't possible. Well, I'd like to challenge you to look at balance in a little slightly different way.
Okay.
Balance is really let's think about this, what your definition of balance is. I realize it's 50-50. I realize you look at the equilibrium, but really
Right.
balance is going to be what's important to you, because if you're able to do things that you want to do in the proportions or the time periods that you're wanting to be able to do them.
Right.
For example, when my children were younger, certain times of the year, I knew that I wanted to be spending more time or had to be spending more time in my business. But I also knew that when that time period had ended, that I was going to have more time for my kids.
Okay.
I felt in balance because that was with my rhythm, that was how my business worked, that's how my life worked, and I was okay with that. A big piece of that, though, is setting your boundaries. And setting boundaries is one of the most important things to do in the very beginning of your business. And unfortunately, when I began 18 plus years ago, I didn't do such a great job on that. I didn't really tell people I was starting a business. I wasn't loud and proud about it. I wasn't, shouting off the mountaintops. And, I worked from home, home-based business,
Sure.
right? And so I didn't talk about it a lot. So I was still very involved with my children's school. I mean, I was PTA president. I ran a bunch of fundraisers. I was very involved.
You did, Gabby.
I was a self-professed, no-challenged woman. I didn't want to say no to anybody.
Oh.
Except myself.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So when I finally did start putting those boundaries into place, I had a lot of pushback from friends and family.
Well, sure, because you trained them how to respond to you and what to expect, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So when I
They're
started
used to you not saying
saying,
no.
exactly. So when I got to the point where I had to say, well, no, I really need to be working today. I
How'd
can't
that
have
go?
lunch. It was not pretty,
Yeah.
I mean, it took a lot of conversation and lost some friends from it. And I still, get some of that, well,
Yeah.
you're never available. Well, I try to be
I
available
know.
as much as possible, but boundaries are critical.
They are, and I like what you said, it takes conversation. And I think maybe that's one thing that we can try to do is when we're really, really busy working towards things that we're very passionate about, we have a full life, we do have to have those conversations, and some people are going to understand and some people might not.
Right.
But Pepper J, we have a question or a comment?
Yes, from Florida says, what about people in your family that are naysayers, no-sayers? You can't lose your family. Any suggestions?
Yeah.
Good
I
question.
didn't mean to laugh. I fully experienced that. In fact, I've had a lot of conversations recently with my mastermind group and some close friends about that fact, that people don't really necessarily get me or what I'm doing.
Right.
My business is very important to me, and I try to share it with them as much as I possibly can. And it's really putting up that wall. And when they start, you can't do that. Who do you think you are? I mean, quite honestly, I mentioned to my husband today that I was going to be on your show.
Uh-huh.
He didn't ask for a link to watch. I didn't give him a link to watch. I mean, I suppose I could have, but do you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's kind of almost a boundary, and yes, he's very supportive of my business, and some of my friends are. Here's a great example. Just before Success Summit last year, one of my best friends texted me. Now, Success Summit is a 2-day workshop, 10 speakers, 200 people.
It's
I'm
a
in the
big
background
deal.
doing. It's a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
I get a text message. Good luck with your presentation.
Who is this from?
One of my good friends.
Oh.
But from a while back, so they don't really understand. So it is.
It's your presentation.
Yeah,
right.
my presentation.
It's like
Right.
this isn't show and tell.
I appreciated the thought and the good, the goodwill
for
that she
sure.
said. But
yeah.
again, they
The
don't
intention was good.
understand. Right. The intention was good, but they
Yeah.
don't really truly deeply understand. And so that's when we need to look for that outside support. I
Yes.
think masterminds, other groups where there's other women entrepreneurs or men entrepreneurs, if you've got men watching too, where
Definitely.
they understand and they are serious about their business and they really want to move forward. And that's where I get that my gas tank filled up. That's where I get the support and the energy and the motivation. I'm in a couple groups, and it's that is really where we support one another, and we experience the same thing with families and friends, and talk about that.
Yeah, because it is so important to be able to be in a conversation that supports what you're doing, because it's so true. When
Absolutely.
you step out of your comfort zone and you want to play bigger in any area of your life, there's always going to be people that are kind of waiting to sort of pull you back because they're just more comfortable with you being there. It has nothing to do with whether you're good enough to do it or not. You're really walking into their comfort level is what's going on. But it can get projected back like it's coming from you. And we all have that voice, or maybe I shouldn't say we all, because some people don't. I definitely have it. Something I have to move through is that little voice that says, who are you to do this? So when I get
we all have that all the time, honey, don't you think?
Right? Yes, we all do.
Absolutely.
Well, it's our subconscious, and it's just the way we're programmed. And so what to be aware of is that you have that voice. It's just your programming. It's not the truth. But that one of the ways you can help yourself around that is to have either a coach or a mastermind group or at least an accountability partner or even just a good friend who believes in you, somebody who you can talk about your dreams and goals who isn't going to pull you back or say, well, how are you going to do that or any of that stuff.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
can I ask you a question about this? Because integration, like you said, this is for me personally, it's I'm really blessed to be sitting here with you right now having this conversation because I can soak this up. You're in all these groups, you do all these events, you run 2 publications, you have a family, you're married, you know, we only have 24 hours in a day, right? So how do you find the balance between playing full out, right, and then running yourself into the ground? There's a line there somewhere. How do you personally find that? Because you seem to be comfortable doing a lot, but even you mentioned before, it got to a point in your life where a lot was too much, and you could still do a lot, but maybe not that much.
Right, pulled back a bit.
So how do you find that balance between really playing full out and
I think
burning
there
out?
is a very fine line. And I think it's very easy to cross over from one to the other. I think a big piece of that is really starting to review your commitments versus your obligations.
Okay, commitments versus obligations.
Commitments versus obligations. And I started looking at that at the middle of last year, you know, kind of trying to decide, well, what was I really committed to? Where was my heart? Where was my passion? Who did I want to serve? What was really important to me? And saying yes to those things.
Okay.
And the other things that are asked of me are the obligations that I feel guilty about, that somebody else, you know, tries to talk me into doing, but my heart really isn't in it.
Okay.
And those are the things I say no to.
Okay.
And learning to say no was a challenge for me. I mean, I'm teased a lot about that I had a hard time saying no, and I've gotten much, much better at it. But I can live a much more fulfilling life now because I am able to say no to those things that just aren't calling to me. And not only with work, but you know, I want to be able to go see my kids, or I want to be able to take a trip, and but I also want to serve my community. And so I've been asked to chair various fundraiser galas and things, and some, you know, one was for breast cancer. I am all about that. You bet. I am on board, and I said yes in a heartbeat. But then there's other things that come up that you know, I can more easily say no to because, again, my heart isn't in it. The more times you say no and really look at those opportunities that come up, is it a commitment versus an obligation?
I like that.
The more opportunity you're going to have to say yes to those things and really feel that sense of fulfillment in what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, because if you're saying yes to everything, there's no space, for the things that are really super important to you to come through. So what about key number 4?
Key number 4 is implementation. And a key piece is, and I said, I'm an implementer. I'm not someone who lets the grass grow under my feet.
Right.
But we do need to implement. We come up with these great ideas. We have wonderful things that we want to put forward, and then we get stuck, and we don't necessarily implement them. Or maybe there's too many. Have we heard of the shiny object syndrome?
Oh my gosh, that's my biggest thing. I talk to John and Pepper about that all the time. I'm like, oh, Jamie and the shiny object syndrome.
Yes, shiny. I like bling, but I have shiny object syndrome, and so I need to. I start keeping. Yes, I do.
Okay.
Ask my VA and good friend, BB, she will say, oh my gosh, no, Cathy. But being able to implement and make that decision. And implementation doesn't necessarily have to mean just you either, right? I mean, this can mean getting the help and support you need, getting a VA, delegating.
Yeah.
For implementing, I do a lot of calendaring. I have a great big huge wall calendar in my office for marketing and personal. We have a family Google calendar that integrates with my husband's business calendar and integrates with mine. So we're able to see where everything falls into so that we can implement things in the best way possible.
Yeah. I mean, it takes a little bit more work, but it's worth it because then you're both able to express yourselves out there in the world the way you want to.
Right, absolutely. And if that means also, you know, getting some extra help around the house, getting some extra help in your office, that's the kind of time when you need to step in and do that.
Okay.
And implementation is not a one-man band, and the sooner that you realize that and that you can get some extra help, there's many VAs, a virtual assistant, if you're not familiar what a VA is, a virtual assistant, where there's very minimal hours, maybe even starting with 1 or 2 hours a month. Doing something, if you're trying to work on business and those boundaries and you're trying to do some other things with the family, maybe ordering your groceries online. I know in some parts of the country, Amazon Fresh, I think it's called, will deliver groceries. I did that when my children were younger.
I do that with the baby's diapers. I use Honest, the company honest.com. I get the diapers and the wipes delivered because, you got anything you can make streamlined.
Right. Because during the implementation phase, you've got to learn to delegate. Whether you're delegating to somebody else in your business, somebody else in the family, or an outside source. That's where delegation really plays a critical piece.
I love it. And so that's all it goes into how we can implement. So what's key number 5, Miss Cathy?
Key number 5 is innovation. And innovation in all parts of your life. And since I am today's innovative woman, innovation.
You might know a little something about this one.
Just a touch. Again, I touched on this at the beginning briefly, but as the CEO of your company, you are the innovator. You need to be looking at the big picture. You need to be the visionary. You need to be thinking ahead of the curve. You need to be thinking outside of the box. Innovation is all about doing something different, something new. You don't have to create the whole wheel all over again, but there's certain things that you can do to shift that wheel that will make your business a little bit different and keep you ahead of things, ahead of what the competition is doing, ahead of what other people are doing.
Right.
With What's Up for Kids, for example, when e-newsletters became a big thing.
Right.
We were one of the first local family publications to implement a weekly e-newsletter. So we did videos again, where it was at one of our summer camp fairs. This was about 5 years ago. We actually went around to each one of the booths and shot just a 1-minute video of each of their booth, introducing them, letting people know where they could get their website. Nobody was using video in their business back in 4 and 5 years ago. It was just kind of on the horizon, certainly not in that way. So in your business, take a look and see what's ahead. Take a look out. Look at that big vision. Where do you want to be, and where could you take it?
And then implement it.
And implement it, baby. Implement it.
I love it. I love it. So I want to share with our viewers how they can say, yes, I can, to themselves. So we're going to do a quick run through of your websites, and then I definitely want to mention how they can get involved with some of this. So here, I'm going to have you talk us through what you see on the screen.
Yes, this is today'sinnovativewoman.com. On the right-hand side there, you'll see where you can opt in to receive a complimentary gifted subscription. It'll be mailed to your home or office at absolutely no cost to you. Within the United States, let me put that little asterisk there. If you are outside the U.S., and I know we have people who are watching.
This is a global show.
Yes, there is. It's a $15 fee, basically, for us to be mailing it to you. But other than that, there are no other costs.
But online's a great way to go, too.
You can read it digitally. You can click on that and actually read the full magazine in a digital issue. This is our Facebook page. Here you will find all kinds of information. We post our articles there daily, so you're constantly seeing new content, new information if we have things coming up. We tweet out all of our articles, all of our posts. So I would love it if you would connect with us over on our Facebook page or at Innovative Woman Mag. This is my own personal Twitter feed, where I will post things about what's coming up, and I do things for both magazines on this one. So
sure.
Oh, and our YouTube, the YouTube channel. We've got a few things up there where
I see a Join the Yes I Can challenge.
Yes, I did a video for the Join the Yes I Can challenge. We had our quarterly thing. That's our What's Up for Kids site. Again, if you're in the South Bay area of Los Angeles, California, this is a resource you do not want to miss. It is also a print magazine, and then our website and our Twitter feed there. So you can find the latest, greatest things going on for you and your families here in Los Angeles.
I have just got to give you a huge shout out the way you just went through all that. You just were on it so well. And then this is also Cathy's website.
Yes, this is Alessandra Media Group. This is the hub. We're actually in the process of redoing this site, but this is kind of the hub where you can find links to all of the different websites and our programs and products too. So
brilliant. And this is my website as well, inspiredhealingandawareness.com, and feel free to check that out and learn more about the work that I'm doing. And This is my Twitter, @Jaime Kalman. You can tweet with me there if you would like, and I will tweet back. And this is my personal Facebook page there. And then you can also check out the Inspired Healing and Awareness Facebook page. And there's always something on there, free tips, tools, content, helpful articles, inspirational videos, things to keep you moving and grooving. And I just am so grateful for this show and this time with you. This
Thank
has
you
been
so much for inviting me.
brilliant.
It's been so much fun.
And thank you, our viewers and our chatters. Thank you so much for getting involved in the conversation, and your questions were invaluable. Thank you for joining us here on Motivational Chat. We're here every month on Actors Entertainment, but you can always watch us on the replay too. Just go to actorsentertainment.com and select the Motivational Chat show. And if you want to see today's show, maybe you missed part of it, you want to see the whole thing, and I recommend that you do, just go to actorsentertainment.com, and in the search engine, type Cathy Alessandra, and that's with a C, Cathy with a C, okay? And put that in the search box, and then this show will come up, and you can watch it again and again and again. And you can visit Actors Entertainment on imdb.com to see some of the 1,000 plus entertainment industry guests that we've had on both Actors E and Motivational Chat. And please follow us on Twitter @Actors Entertain. And you can, of course, join in the conversation with Motivational Chat on Facebook. We have a Motivational Chat Facebook page, and we love to get your feedback and comments and people you'd like to have as guests. So please stay tuned for our Actors Reporter animation, which just happened to win Best Animation at the Telly Awards. Great job,
Nice.
Pepper J and Now Media. Thank you so much for that. And Cathy, thank you for everything that you're doing. Thank you for all of your wisdom and insights. We appreciate you so much. And it's just been a blast to get to spend this time with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
the time.
Thanks, John,
Bye-bye.
Pepper J, Jeremiah. Bye, everybody. We'll see you next time.
What's that? Actors Eat Chat Show? Happens to be my favorite in the morning. I want nothing but a cup of coffee, a bottle of Kahlua, 6 naked girls. Wait, no, that's not right. Actors Eat Chat Show.
Oh my gosh, hey, big Hollywood starlet that just happens to be walking by. Yes. I'm not from around here, but I want to be an actress just like you. What do I need to know? Kid, let me tell you. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a naive newbie like you, there's one thing you need to know. To get my first job, I lived in a slum, beat out 50 other girls to play a drunk bum.
I cried.
My first agent charged me 30%.
Thanks.
Working 3 jobs and I couldn't pay rent, but I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
A shark gnawed my leg on a beef film in Sydney. To pay for the stitches, I sold my left kidney. I finally made a union, their rules were complex. Their piles of paperwork fogged up my specs. But I'm an actor.
She's an actor.
I'm an actor. Well, that's rather disturbing, but what's the one thing I need to know? Don't listen to the critics. Don't follow all the tabs. Forget that sleazy photog and the agent that's got crabs. Go to Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com. Learn the tricks and the secrets without all the sweat. An info-packed one-stop shop. It's free and on the net. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
How can they help her?
Career cues, union news, makeup woes, advice from pros, insurance tips, choosing scripts, everything at your fingertips. Actors Reporter. ActorsReporter.com.
I just got a call back.
I'll do it.
Oh, hello. I'm Mary Jo Gruber. Thanks for joining us on Actor Z Live Chat Show. I'm just one of your Actor Z hosts, but as you can see, I'm also the Actor Z Live video editor, which means that I'm here, even when you don't see me. Actor Z is here to chat with you Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or Hollywood time, as I like to call it. Our guests include actors, directors, producers, writers, singers, comics, and others that are all in the entertainment industry. You can see previous shows at www.actorsentertainment.com, and be sure to check out our guest index to find your favorite celebrities. See you next time. I'm working.